Hello guys, this is Khalil Ahmed from Millennium Immigration Canada. I brought a new topic for you guys, and that is called six selection factors in the program of Federal Skilled Worker Program under Express Entry. Yeah, that is called six selection factors under Federal. Your language skills points and your education points and your work experience points and your age points and your arranged employment points. You might have arranged employment in Canada through Canadian employer, or your adaptability points. We are here to discuss and try to understand the calculation of all these selection factors, which consist of 100 grid points, and then your passing marks to apply for Federal Skilled Worker Program is 67. It means that out of 100 you need 67 points. So how to calculate all these six selection factors? We start right now. Okay, so now we are on six selection factors page, and which is the program of which is called Federal Skilled Worker Program under Express Entry System. IRCC use these selection factor points to help assess your eligibility for the Federal Skilled Worker Program. They assess your selection factors and assign an overall score out of 100. This grade is consist of 100 points, and you have to obtain 67 points to get passing marks. So now if your score is lower than 67 points, then you won't qualify for the program. You may be able to get a higher score by doing things like improving your language skills. Okay, you can improve your English. So if required, for this Federal Skilled Worker Program, language CLB requires 7. So if you improve to 8 or 9, you get 7 or 8 CLB score. Then you can improve your score in 100 points grades. So or you can complete another degree, diploma or certificate, or receiving an offer of arranged employment in Canada. You apply by sitting in your country, and there are different websites. You can like Workopolis and jobbank.ca, so you can apply through them. And if you get an offer of employment from a Canadian employer, then you will get more higher score in the express entry pool, and then you can increase your score here. So if your score is as much as you can increase here, there are that much chances to be selected for this program, for Federal Skill Program. So these are the selection factors: language skill points, you will get education points, work experience points, age points, arranged employment in Canada points, and adaptability points. So let's start with the language skills points. They are maximum 28 points, including your English and French language test. So for English, you need the highest is 24 points, and 4 points for the French language. So they will assess in these 4 areas: writing, reading, listening, and speaking. The language testing must be approved language test. Like in English you have 2 options. One is IELTS, another one is SALPIP General, IELTS General. Okay, so to measure your French language, then you have 2 options. TCF Canada or TEF Canada for French languages. So if you take both languages, so that is good for you guys. Say Canadian Language Benchmark CLB for English, NASIS D Competence Linguistic Canadians, and CLC for French. You must get a minimum level of CLB 7 or NCLC 7 for one official language in all four language areas. To get points for the second official language, you must meet the minimum level of CLB 5 or NCLC 5 in all 4 language areas. Once you take the language test, you can use it to see exactly how many points IRCC will give you for the language selection factors. So calculate your language points. Suppose if you have your you have taken your test or you are gonna test in future. So then this is your English language test. First official language is English language. So English language got maximum 24 points. You require, below CLB level 7 you are not eligible for this stream, for federal worker skill program. So you must have to take CLB level 7. It means that in speaking you need 4 points, in listening and in reading and writing 4 points you require. So suppose if you don't qualify for this stream, because of your language, less score, then you have to hard work to get your to get your English language more improved. Then you can do a harder work to get CLB level 8. So in this way you can get 5 in all 4 abilities, and then it will increase your points to get your passing marks. If you can do more hard work, then you can take CLB level 9 or higher, and you will get 6 in all 4 abilities. So then you can get more complete 24 points, because if you take CLB level 7, then it will become 4 means 16 points altogether. 16 points altogether. So if you go more higher, you can qualify, because you will get CLB level 7, and then you are eligible. You are qualifying for the language points. But if your total marks are not 67, and then you need more, the areas where you have to improve your points. So the first one is your language area. So in this way, then you try for the CLB level 8. Okay, then if you get all 5 in all 4 abilities, then you will get total points 20. So okay, if you get CLB level 9 or higher, then you will get 24 points here. Okay, 6 multiplied by 4 is equal to 24 points. So in this way you can increase your passing marks if you are not getting your passing marks. Or still, if you have 67, you got the passing marks, out of 100. If you got 67, but still there is a big competition in the express entry pool. So I think you should you must try to get more higher points, so that you can compete other people successfully and you can qualify easily, in the grid, in the express entry pool. The second language where you can work hard is a maximum 4 points, which is a French language. To get this 4 points of CLB in the 4 abilities, you need to get CLB 5. Then you will get 4 points. So 20, you got 20 in English, you got like maximum 6 is like 24 points. You got maximum 24 point here, and then you have second language, which is both Canadian official languages, English and French. So if you are expert, you are well conversant and well acquainted, or you think that you can take 4 points in French language also, and if you get 4 points also here, you will get 4 points when you will get CLB's 5 in all 4 abilities. Then it will become overall 28 points, maximum 28 points. Right here, maximum 25 points in the language skills in both languages, in English and French, if you make them together. So this is good. These areas you can improve your score in the express entry poll. So the second factor, well, you must have to, you will be judged, is education. Education got maximum 25 points. For this stream, federal skill worker program, in express entry you require a secondary school qualification. If you went to school in Canada, you must have a certificate, diploma or degree from a Canadian secondary institutions, which is a high school, or post-secondary institutions like college or the degree programs. If you have foreign education, suppose if you don't have a college, those people who are living in India and Pakistan or Bangladesh, if they have, of course, they don't have a Canadian education, then if you have foreign your own country's credentials, then you have to go for assessment. For an assessment, through these designated organizations. So it is called Educational Credential Assessment ECA report for immigration purposes from designated organizations. That will show that your education is equal to a completed certificate, diploma or degree from a Canadian secondary institutions, which is a high school or post-secondary institutions. Okay, these designating organizations are, like first one is World Education Services, International Credential Assessment Service of Canada, ICAS, Comparative Education Services as University of Toronto Schools of Continuing Studies, International Qualification Assessment Services, ICAS, and International Credential Evaluation Services. Okay, the general qualifications, like they will do their assessments through these 5 organizations. And if you have a doctor's degree, then you have to go to Medical Council of Canada. You cannot do assessment through these 5 designated bodies. Then you will have to go to Medical Council of Canada, MCC. Okay, and if you are a pharmacist, then you have to go Pharmacy Examination Board of Canada, PEBC. So the third one is your work experience. Work experience has maximum 15 points. You can get points for the number of years you have spent doing full-time paid work. At least full-time paid work means 30 hours per week paid work, or an equal amount of part-time means 15 hours per week for 24 months. Either you have to work for 1 year for means 12 months, and every week you have to show that you have worked 30 hours per week paid work. Volunteer work is not acceptable. Or you have to show that you had work per week 15 hours for 24 months. In which skills? In skills type 0 means managerial positions, or skill level A means professional jobs, doctor, accountants, engineers, lawyers, and B skilled or skilled trade jobs. Of the 2016 National Occupations Classification. Must keep this 2016 in mind. To get selection factor points, your work experience will count if it was in Canada or abroad. If you have your work experience in Canada, that will be acceptable. If it is abroad, it is acceptable. While you were studying and then you had a full-time job, then it is still, you can show that. While being self-employed, if you are self-employed, and that must be a full-time work. So in this way you can call all these things, they can qualify under this stream. So the experience, suppose if you have 1 year experience, the experience got maximum 15 points. I just mentioned up there. If you have 1 year experience, then you got less, means the less is 9 points. If you have 2 to 3 years experience, then you will got more higher, means 11 points. If you have 4 to 5 years experience, then you will get more higher point, 13 points. If you get 6 or more years, then you will get 15 points, which is the highest one. Okay. And the another factor is age. How old are you? Age got maximum 12 points. If you are under 18, you will get 0 points. If you get 18 to 35 points, then you will get the maximum score, which is 12 points. I just mentioned here. Okay, as much as your age will be increasing, your points will be started declining. When you will reach to 46 years, then you will get only 1 point for that age. Range employment in Canada got maximum 10 points. If you have any job offer from Canadian employer, then you will get 10 points. So there are the valid job offer has to be for continuous paid full-time work, minimum of 30 hours per week, with paid job. It must not be a seasonal job, and it should be for at least 1 year. And what skills or occupations which you have been offered the job, that must be 0 means managerial jobs, and skill level A means professional jobs, accountants, doctor, engineers, and lawyers, and B skill job or skill trade jobs. Up there, just write down on Google, and you will just write down 6 selection factors, Federal Skilled Worker Program, expressentry. Just write down this full line, and then there will be so many websites. Just click canada.ca. Just click canada.ca website. That is most authentic one. Then you will not lost. Adaptability got maximum 10 points. What is that? You and your spouse or common law partner who will immigrate with you to Canada can earn points for adaptability. You and your spouse can earn a maximum of 10 points by combining any of the elements below. These elements assess how well you and your spouse are likely to settle in Canada. Okay, so adaptability. The first one is your spouse or partner's language level. If your wife is coming with you, then your spouse or common law partner has a language level in either English or French at CLB 4 level or higher in all 4 language abilities: speaking, listening, reading. If you get CLB 4, Canadian Language Benchmark 4 level or higher, then you will get 5 points here. So it will increase your score in the express entry pool, and it means that you will get more higher chances to be nominated or selected. The second adaptability factor is your past studies in Canada. If you have completed your 2 years academic years of full-time study in a program at least 2 years long at a secondary or post-secondary schools in Canada, then you will get 5 points more. Full-time study, they say, IRCC say that it must be at least 15 hours of classes per week. You must have stayed in good academic standing as set out by the schools during that time. The third one is your adaptability factor is your spouse or partner's past studies in Canada. Okay, if the first one was the applicant's your past studies in Canada, now your spouse or partner's past studies in Canada, you will still get 5 points if your spouse or common law partner completed at least 2 academic years of full-time study in a program at least 2 years long at a secondary or post-secondary schools in Canada. And I have already mentioned what is 15, must have attended your classes 15 hours in a week. Then you will get 5 points here. So it was about your educations. Now your work experience in Canada. Your past work in Canada means the applicant, who is applying, the principal applicant. If the husband is applying for this stream, then he is a principal applicant. If your wife is applying, then she is a principal applicant. So if you are a husband, then your past work experience in Canada, they are asking you did at least 1 year of full-time work in Canada. If you got this opportunity and you had 1 year work experience in Canada, then you will get very good marks here, 10 points. Then it will increase your in your score too much. And in which skills you must have worked in Canada full-time as a manager or as a professional doctor, engineer, or accountant, or the skilled trade or skills person, and you must have a valid work permit. If you have worked in Canada, then you must have stayed here legally, and for legal purpose, then you must have a valid work permit, or while authorized to work in Canada. They will authorize you to work in Canada. In both cases, you will get 10 points. If you have 1 year full-time Canadian work experience under managerial job or professional jobs like doctor, engineers, accountants, or so on, or the skills or skilled trade experience. Now your spouse or common law partner's past work in Canada, because you see here you got your 1 year work experience in Canada. You see here you got 10 points for your work experience in Canada. Now they are also asking you to show your wife or your spouse or common law partner past work in Canada. Your spouse or partner did at least 1 year of full-time work in Canada on a valid work permit or while authorized to work in Canada. If you meet this condition, then your wife will also get 5 points here, guys. So you will get boom points here. Arrange employment in Canada. If you have arranged employment in Canada, you must get 5 points for that. The last one is your relatives in Canada. You or your spouse or common law partner have a relative who is living in Canada the first condition, they must be living in Canada. The second condition is you must be 18 years or older, and they must be Canadian citizen or permanent residents. These are the conditions. If you don't meet any one of these conditions, then you will not get these 5 points here, to get relatives in Canada. So these relatives must be a parent. They could be your parents, they could be your grandparents, they could be your child, their grandchild, your or your spouse's siblings, a child of your or your spouse parents, your or your spouse's aunt or uncle by blood or by marriage, your or your spouse's niece or nephew, grandchild of your or your spouse parents. So guys, these were the 6 selection factors which you guys must know how to calculate your own, under federal skilled worker programs, under express entry system. And keep watching my videos, that will be very beneficial for you guys. And subscribe my channel also, which is Millennium Immigration Canada. Have a wonderful day.